Good evening and welcome back to Concerned Citizens Media. Here are the news for today. First, the breaking news. Oromo Media Network reported that Jawar Mohamed is extremely sick and even couldn't attend his court appointment today. Jawar was unable to breathe and his face was swollen, according to Oromo Media Network report on the matter. There, there, there are many reports of detainees exposure to COVID-19 in Ethiopian prison. So could be Jawar Mohammed could be exposed to COVID-19, just like other detainees. However, the Ethiopian government denied the report about Jawar Mohammed's health condition, and he is in a very good health. That's what the government said. The Ethiopian government blamed the diaspora communities and OMN media for misinformation. Oromo protests continue in various forms. Qeeroos and Qeeroos, or Oromo Americans in Minneapolis, Minnesota, staged a camping-style protest for almost 12 days and a night at Ethiopian Consulate in Minnesota. These Oromo Americans youth were out from their comfort zone to demand justice for Hachalu Hundessa and for the release of all Oromo prisoners, especially those in leadership roles from Ethiopian overcrowded prisons. They created awareness about the situation Oromos are facing under Abiy Ahmed leadership by engaging the media at their camping site. The Ethiopian consulate official refused to address Oromo Americans, those Qeeroos and Qeeroos concerns. Also, Oromos from different religious denominations joined hand in hand in Minneapolis, Minnesota on Friday, August 14, 2020, to denounce the action of Abiy Ahmed, Abiy Ahmed of Ethiopia against the Oromos back home. Oromo Christians, Muslims, and the Waqf came from different states to Minnesota to strongly express their oneness as Oromos despite their religious affiliation. They rejected the Ethiopian government's attempt to divide Oromos by religion and by district affiliation. They demanded justice for Hachalu Hundessa and all Oromos and for the immediate release of Jawar Mohamed, Baqqala Garba, Hamza Borana, Abdi Raggasa, Dr. Shibgut Galata, and other Oromos suffering in Ethiopia jails. They all prayed for well-being of Oromos and Oromia and for the complete liberation of Oromia and its people from tyrants. They also stress their continuation of their resistance until credible changes are emerging in Ethiopia, especially in Oromia. Oromo protests also have been seen in Seattle, Washington, Edmonton, and Saskatoon in Canada, St. Louis, Missouri, and other countries. All protesters determined to continue their protests until their demands are fulfilled by Ethiopian government. Qeeroos and Qeeroos declared their resistance movement to be carried out all over Oromia starting 12/12/2020. 2020, according to Ethiopian calendar, which is undergoing as I am reporting. Correction, starting 12/12. This is the third round call for action against the Ethiopian government. Qeeroos and the Qeeroos promised to continue their resistance movement against Abiy Ahmed administration until all Oromo political prisoners are released and Oromia becomes free from dictatorship. Qeeroos are ready to create chaos in transportation service through road blockades, tires burning, restriction on commodities exchange, and by conducting continuous peaceful demonstration in all Oromia cities and towns. They demanded the Ethiopian government release their prominent Oromo political leaders and other Oromos exposed to COVID-19 in Ethiopian prisons. They also demanded the Ethiopian military command post be removed from the Oromia region. Qeeroos and Qeeroos already engaged in action in Shashamane, Hirna, Ambo, Naqamt, Wallagga, Dolola, and many other cities and towns of Oromia by blocking roads and by demonstrating against Abiy Ahmed. So the declaration is already in action. So far, the deaths of 4 Qeeroos and injuries of more than 29 Qeeroos are reported in Shashamane, RC alone. This is today. So 4 sacrificed already for the movement. There are several shocking videos showing how Qeeroos are suffering from Abiy Ahmed's military operation in many areas of Oromia on this first day of resistance movement. The Human Rights Watch warned the rules of law disappearing in Ethiopia with opposition figures detained without charges. On Saturday, the human rights group said police and the prosecutors need to publicly account for all detainees' whereabouts, comply promptly and fully with court bail orders, ensure easy and regular access to lawyers and relatives for those not released. The action of Ethiopia's investigative authorities raised concerns that they haven't moved on from past practices of arresting first and investigating later, said Letita Bader, Horn of Africa director at Human Rights Watch. The authorities should promptly bring credible charges based on clear facts and evidence against the detainees or ensure their release. The Human Rights Watch said forced disappearance of detainees, like in the case of Lammi Benya, Dawit Abdata, and other Oromo Liberation Front members, their whereabouts is unknown to their lawyers and relatives, is a serious human rights violation and a crime under international law. I repeat this is very serious accusation. The Human Rights Watch said forced disappearance of detainees is a serious human rights violation and is a crime under international law. They arrested and they caused disappearance and they hide the whereabouts of those detainees. This affects the human rights of the individuals arrested, plus their lawyers and their families. So there is a crime right there. So Ethiopia could be exposed to international laws. The Human Rights Watch also warned that the Ethiopian government, one, not to restrict legitimate critical dissent under the pretext of protecting law and order. I repeat, this is a Human Rights Watch warning. One, the Ethiopian government not to restrict legitimate critical dissent under the pretext of protecting law and order. Second, not to undermine defendants' presumption of innocence. Other violations or crimes the Human Rights Watch discovered through witness interviews are police authorities ignoring bail orders, requesting repeatedly for more time to investigate suspects, transfer suspects between police authorities without informing relatives or their lawyers, police investigators ignoring court decision, police seeking to open a new investigation based on the same accusation and evidence in the case of journalist Yasin, exposing detainees to COVID-19 by keeping them in overcrowded jails, which is against World Health Organization recommendation. World Health Organization recommends reduction of prisons population to control the virus at this time. But Ethiopia is gathering more and more prisoners into overcrowded uh, prisons, and that's a crime because it exposes detainees for COVID-19. Like as already reported, the Janet Ava, 5 security guards, Yasin, and other detainees were tested positive for COVID-19. Ethiopia has, this is the final warning or the final statement from uh, Human Rights Watch, Ethiopia has domestic and international legal obligation to protect basic rights, including the right to be free from arbitrary detention and, if lawfully detained, provide with humane treatment and condition and guaranteed a fair trial. That is, very essential statement from Human Rights Watch. I repeat, this is very essential. Ethiopia has domestic and international legal obligation to protect basic rights, including the right to be free from arbitrary detention and, if lawfully detained, provide with humane treatment and condition and guaranteed a fair trial. So according to Human Rights Watch, there must be sufficient evidence to charge someone, and there must be independent, impartial judge to try the cases, and access to lawyers and the families should be guaranteed. But these all things are not happening under uh, current Ethiopian government. All these politicians are arrested as a revenge or to eliminate them from before the next election. There is no crime. They didn't find any crime. As Amnesty, as Human Rights Watch and Amnesty also reported, they just try to eliminate them from the competition, because if they don't eliminate them, the OPDO and the old OPDO and the other Amara region and all these uh, uh, children of TPLF, they don't have a chance to win election. So this Ethiopia is now uh, is a very tense situation, and those all Oromo politicians, oil left, Oromo Federalist Congress, the people, those Oromo nationalists, all are put in jail because they threaten Abiy Ahmed election uh, whenever it happens. I don't know. It could be 2 years, 3 years. It's already suspended, postponed indefinitely, but we don't know. So Jawar Mohamed, Bakala Garba, Hamza Borana, all these are political prisoners, and the charges are political, and there is no sufficient evidence to charge them. There is no witness. They are making the witness as we follow the news. They try to make cases against Jawar Mohamed or those other Oromo politicians, and there is no credible evidence, there is no sufficient evidence, and the court is not independent, is not impartial. It is controlled by Bilsagana or Prosperity Party. So there is no free and fair trial. So the concerned citizens media comment. This is a concerned citizens media comment on this damning report and ongoing uh, arrest of Oromo politicians. The Ethiopian government doesn't have any evidence against Jawar Mohamed, Bakala Garba, Hamza Borana, and others. This is from all the news we collected and from this uh, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, and the others, So there is no enough evidence. That's why they are asking more time, more time, more time in the court. They are looking, they are fishing to find out, but so far nothing come out because these people, they didn't do anything wrong except fighting against Bilsagana, against Prosperity Party. They are the challenges of Abiy Ahmed, because Abiy tried to build something that the majority of Oromos don't like. So their crimes are only their opposition to Abiy Ahmed prosperity agenda. This is politically motivated assassination attempts against this Oromo politician. There is no independent and impartial judge under the current Ethiopian uh, government. So the release of all Oromo politicians depend on the strength of the Oromo resistance movement in Ethiopia and in the diaspora community. This is concerned citizens media closing comment, and it's very essential. Do not expect free and fair trial for these people. None, because the judges, as I said, the judges are not impartial. They are not independent. The prosecutors are not independent. All these are politically affiliated people. They are getting order from Abiy Ahmed and his supporters. So, what we have to do, Oromos, they have to keep the resistance. That's the only way you can uh, give a chance for these political prisoners to be released. The release of all Oromo politicians depends on the strength of the Oromo's resistance movement in Ethiopia and in the diaspora community. Okay, this is fair judgment, and your strength, the Oromo's strength, can free those all Oromos, and can free Oromia too from this dictatorship. But to do that, it requires internal and international Oromo, strong Oromo movement in whatever they can. Demonstration, blocking roads, whatever the other uh, uh, fighting strategies to free Oromia and to free our politicians. And other than that, if you are waiting for the judge, for those Bilsagana prosecuted to release them, that's you are cheating yourself. Okay, that's all I have from Concerned Citizens Media for today. Thank you for your time. Be safe, and I will leave you with Chala Degefa. Chala Degefa's Ati Enyu is the title of the music. Ati Enyu Oromo music, and enjoy it. And even if you don't understand the Oromo, still music is international language. Listen to it and enjoy it, please. Until next time, so long and be safe. Oromo. Philippine sirna nafxanyaa nutti galche. Waamu jala mundur waamu waadu jala waadu jala waadu jala waamu waamu waadu jala waadu jala waadu jala. Okay, that's Chala Dagafa Ati Enyu or Oromo music. Thank you, Chala Dagafa, for that music. It is it's very it's a motivating music. Got a message about the current Ethiopian government and for the Oromos resistance movement, what we supposed to do. That's all I have. Thank you so much for taking your time for listening to Concerned Citizens Media. If you have any comments, suggestions, questions, please forward it to my email address, Robson, BIRKE@yahoo.com. Appreciate you for time again. So long, everyone. Be safe.